everyone, and welcome to our educational session. My name is Paul Arsov, and I'm the founder of the Decentralized Web project. I'm going to talk about our project in the end of this presentation, but the topic of it today is nurturing self, optimal living, and its principles. The topic touches on psychology and basically in a way to live a good life. Optimal living is similar to nurturing a vibrant ecosystem, living, breathing tapestry where every element contributes to the flourishing of the whole. By embracing the foundational principles, you cultivate a life that thrives much like a biodiverse forest, rich in growth, connection, and renewal. Here are the principles unfolding. The first one is caring for your physical vessel. Imagine your body as a thriving garden where each part of your well-being is an essential component of a rich ecosystem. Just as a garden flourishes when its soil is fertile, watered and budded with sunlight, your body prospers with restorative sleep, nourishing food, and regular movement. First one, think of sleep as the gentle dew that forms on leaves at dawn, soft essential moisture that rejuvenates the garden overnight. Just as dew provides the quiet refreshment that enables plants to sparkle in the morning light, quality sleep recharges your body, preparing it to absorb the energy of a new day. Consider nutrient-rich foods as the compost that enriches your garden soil. When you plant your body in a bed of nourishing ingredients, much like seeds sown into rich, dark earth, you create the ideal conditions for robust growth and vitality. Picture exercise as a gently flowing stream that meanders through your garden, delivering life-sustaining water to every root and branch. Regular movement circulates energy throughout the body, ensuring that every cell is nourished and every part of you remains supple and resilient. The second principle is cultivate a healthy inner life. Your inner world is like a secret garden tucked away in sunlit clearing. Its beauty and productivity depends on the care you give it, removing invasive weeds and plants and planting seeds of calm, positive thoughts. Envision harmful habits as invasive weeds that threaten to overrun your inner garden. A wise gardener doesn't simply pull these weeds without replacing them. Instead, they sow beneficial flowering plants in their place. By consciously replacing negative patterns with nurturing practices, you transform your mental landscape into a place of beauty and balance. Reflect on the natural rhythm of a forest where each tree grows at its own pace, untouched by the frantic rush of competition. The parable of the gentle grow teaches that when you release the need to constantly grasp for more, you allow your inner self to settle into a state of peaceful contentment, much like a forest that embraces each season with a graceful acceptance. Um, the third principle is to build high quality relationships. Envision your relationships as the intricate symbols found in a lush living forest. Each connection, like the mutual support among trees through their intertwined roots and shared uh, mic- um, microcorallial networks, contributes to the overall health and resilience of the community. Think of close relationships as the canopy of thriving woodland where each and every branch supports the next. In the parable of the forest of mutuality, individual trees, through unique in their form, grow together to create a sheltering, supportive network. In life, fostering deep bonds with family, friends, and mentors creates an environment where every member can thrive, weathering storms together and celebrating the warmth of shared sunlight. Um, the fourth principle is to constantly learn and refine. Picture your mind as an ever-growing vine, continuously reaching for sunlight and adapting to its surrounding. Um, just as a vine twists and climbs, um, learning from every twist and turn, you expand your horizons through very new experience and piece of knowledge. Pursue mastery through continuous learning. Imagine yourself as a seedling that gradually unfurls into sturdy tree, absorbing the light and nutrients around it. The parable of ever-growing vine tells of a young climber that with every season of growth learns to navigate its environment more and more skillfully, eventually blossoming into a radiant presence. This story is a gentle reminder that lifelong learning is a natural path to wisdom and resilience. The fifth principle is taking responsibility and acting. Living optimally means becoming a dedicated gardener of your life, planting seeds, tending to growth, and nurturing every sprout with mindful attention. Just as a tree anchors itself by expanding its root deep into nourishing soil, you ground yourself in responsibility and action. Um, Consider the parable of the growing, caring orchard, where each tree is lovingly nurtured by its gardener. Watch a branch wilts. Um, the gardener does not blame the season, but works patiently to restore its vigor. Accepting responsibility for your own growth means you recognize your power to cultivate and transform, ensuring that each setback becomes an opportunity for deeper rooting and higher reaching. Um, Cultivate happiness and take action. Like a flower that opens its petals to the nourishing sun, your action should be deliberate and joyful. When you actively tend to your inner garden, ensuring that positivity and purpose blossom, you build a resilient landscape that can withstand even the harshest weather. Um, and final principle is focus on creating real and enduring value. Imagine your efforts as seeds sown in a wild meadow, destined to grow into towering trees that offer shelter, shade, and nourishment to countless generations. Focusing on enduring value means nurturing projects that and relationships that, like ancient growths, sustain life long after the first saplings take root. Work hard on the right things. The parable of the ancient grove tells of a wise caretaker who, instead of planting fleeting wildflowers, sowed the seeds of mighty trees that came to define the landscape. By dedicating your energy to endeavors that yield long-term growth, you create a legacy that endures, nurturing an environment that supports and enriches lives over time. Seek real wealth, not status. Real wealth is akin to a dense, thriving forest, a living network of roots and branches that provides continuous life, shelter, and sustenance. Focus on cultivating genuine connections and meaningful contributions rather than chasing superficial accolades. Leverage authenticity and modern tools. Every organism in nature has its unique role, contributing authenticity to the greater ecosystem. Embrace your inherent individuality and let it shine, using the resources available to amplify your natural gifts, like a rare wildflower that brightens an entire meadow. Your true self adds irrepressible beauty to the world. And finally, unifying all these principles in the living web of optimal living. Imagine a grand ancient forest where every tree, vine, and creature is interconnected in a vast, harmonious web of life. These principles of optimal living are like the diverse elements of this forest, caring for your physical garden, tending to the secret sanctuary of your inner world, intertwining with supportive relationships, continuously seeking the light of new knowledge, taking responsibility as the devoted caretaker and planting the seeds that yield a lasting and affirming value. Just as a forest thrives through the natural rhythm of growth, symbiosis, and renewal, so too does a life rooted in these organic principles blossom into enduring beauty and vitality. Embrace the natural flow of growth and transformation, and let the wisdom of nature guide you on your journey towards a life of abundant well-being and timeless legacy. And with this said, I'm ending this educational presentation, and I'm coming back to the beginning of this presentation when I told you that my name is Paul Arsuf and I'm the founder of the Decentralized Web project. And I like to tell you about this and several other projects that we are working on. But first, the Decentralized Web project builds a decentralized communication advertising platform, and this project is, as I just mentioned, monetized through advertising. The meaning of decentralization is very, very different than the meaning of decentralization that blockchain technology puts in. The blockchain technology has multiple and fundamental flaws which make it not suitable to be a driver of decentralization. And our way and the meaning we put in decentralization is direct communication from user to user without going through a third party, namely a server or a collection point which collects information and then it distributes this back to participants. We're just building something which does user-to-user communication, and it does it directly and without going and storing it on a third party or central point. The website and the URL of this project is decentralizedweb.org. Decentralized and web, these are two words, and they're typed all together. Decentralized web, then there's dot and it ends with org. In our project we have our own blockchain instance, and this blockchain instance provides a token which are rewards for the users who join our decentralized communication and advertising platform, and they're rewarded also for inviting our users to our decentralized platform, and also our users are rewarded with tokens for viewing advertising on our decentralized web platform. And with this said, I'm ending talking about this. I'm ending talking about this project, and I'm going to the next project. And the next project is about our 3D NFT marketplace and collection of NFTs based on three-dimensional objects. The website and the URL of this project is 3dnft.decentralizedweb.org. 3D NFT is typed in a way of the number 3 followed by the letter D followed by 3 other letters NFT, and it is typed all together 3D NFT. Then there is dot, then there are two words which are typed all together, decentralized and web. Then there is dot and it ends with org. Once again, 3D NFT decentralizedweb.org. When dealing with 3D objects, usually there is a special software which what it does, it has to read the file of the 3D object, then it has to open a window in a computer screen, then it has to load and displays the 3D object, and then it can manipulate this object around a window. Usually, creators of 3D objects, they use most often two game engines. There are two popular choices. One of them is called Unity and the other one is called Unreal. But from the very beginning of our project, we decided to build our own 3D software engine, and what it does, it does all the basic things like reading the file of the 3D object, opening a window on a computer screen, loading and displaying the 3D object in this window, and then it starts animating it in a way of moving it in a random fashion around the window. But our 3D NFT software engine has multiple additional capabilities. The first additional capability of our 3D NFTs is the capability of speaking. Our 3D NFTs can speak in one of three different voices. The 3D NFTs can speak either in a male voice or in a female voice or in a whisper kind of a voice. In addition to displaying of the 3D NFTs, and in addition to loading and displaying the 3D NFTs, like speaking in three different voices, there are three different flavors of voices. A voice can be spoken either in a normal speed or in a fast speed or in a slow speed manner. In addition to the first basic capability of speaking, the second capability is the capability of voice recognition. If, for example, you have a 3D NFT which moves in random fashion around a window, you can then issue your very first voice command to the 3D NFT to stop moving. And then the 3D NFT is going to stand still and stop moving. Then you can issue following voice commands to the 3D NFT to move left, move right, move up, move down, zoom in, zoom out, rotate. And then the 3D NFT is going to fulfill each one of these separate voice commands and move left, then move right, move up, then move down, come closer, zoom in, go farther away, zoom out, and start rotating. The next additional capability of our 3D NFT software engine is the capability of them having a basic artificial intelligence. Wow, really wow. You can ask the 3D NFT what is your name, and then the 3D NFT is going to reply with their name. You can ask the 3D NFT who are you, and then the 3D NFT is going to reply in few sentences about who they are. You can ask the 3D NFT to describe something, for example, describe Web3 or describe decentralization or describe Russia. And then the 3D NFT is going to describe in few sentences about Web3 or decentralization or the country called Russia. The last but not least important capability of our 3D NFTs is the capability of them being displayed in a way of stereoscopics. The stereoscopics displaying is additional capability in addition to the being displayed in a normal way. And stereoscopics means that part of the 3D NFT is going to be displayed in red or reddish colors, and another part of the 3D NFT is going to be displayed in blue or cyan colors. Then you can come to to our website, which I mentioned the name and the URL of it. It is 3dnft.decentralizedweb.org. And on the top of the first page and every other page, you can see a number of links. One of these links point to links as accessories. And when you click on this link, you're going to see that we're offering special glasses. And when you click and order one pair of these glasses, you're going to see that one lens of these glasses is red and the other lens of these glasses is blue or cyan. And when you put these glasses on and request displaying the 3D NFT in a way of stereoscopics, then you are going to see the 3D NFT as coming out of the flat two-dimensional computer screen, and you're going to see it in real 3 dimensions. And with this said, I'm ending talking about our 3D NFT and the software engine, but I like to tell you a little bit about our 3D NFT marketplace. In our 3D NFT marketplace, we have our own blockchain instance. It runs Ethereum software, and this is the same software which runs Ethereum mainnet blockchain nodes. It runs Binance Smart Chain nodes. It runs Avalanche AVAX nodes, and it runs KuCoin KCS nodes, and it runs many other famous or not so famous blockchains and coins. By having our own blockchain instance, then we do not charge our users for deploying of the smart contracts for the non-fungible tokens, and we do not charge gas fees for transactions and transfer of ownership from one user to another user. By having our own blockchain instance, in addition to this, we detach buying and receiving proceedings from sale from a single crypto coin, but currently allow buying and selling of 3D NFTs in 4 different crypto coins. Currently the choices include Solana Sol, Polygon Matic, Avalanche AVAX, and KuCoin, which is a big centralized crypto exchange. They have a coin called KCS. By having our own blockchain instance, in addition to buying and selling with crypto, we also have a second parallel and independent way of buying and selling our 3D NFTs, and it is done entirely in fiat currency. Let's bring an example of you're a user. You come to our 3D NFT marketplace. You click on the composite image on the main page of our first collection. You see all of the 3D NFT listed. You click on one 3D NFT that you like. Then you're going to see a short video of the 3D NFT as it is moving, and then you are going to click and see a drop-down menu with 4 different choices for payment in crypto coins, and the 5th choice of paying with fiat currency. So let's say you select paying with fiat currency. You click on the button to advance next, and then you're going to see a page where you can put the number of your debit or credit card, expiration date, CVC, and when you click the button to complete the transaction and make a payment, what is going to happen is there is going to be a transaction and conversion from your national fiat currency to US dollars, and this payment is going to be deposited in our bank account in US dollars. So let's say you are so then we are going to follow this with the transaction and transfer of ownership, the initial ownership from our 3D NFT marketplace to you, and now you become the first owner of this 3D NFT. So let's say you play with the 3D NFT for a while, then you decide to put it for sale. You decide on the price that you want to put for sale, and let's say there's a second user. They come, they browse through the 3D NFTs, they see and like in particular the 3D NFT that you put for sale, and when they click and go through the same motions of choosing between crypto, paying with crypto and paying with fiat currency, then they select paying with fiat currency. They put the number of their debit or credit card, CVC, expiration date. They complete the transaction, and what is going to happen is there's going to be a conversion from national fiat currency of the second user, which could be different from your national fiat currency and different than US dollars. And this transaction is going to be converted to US dollars and deposited in our bank account. Then we are going to follow this with transaction and transfer of ownership from you to the second user, and now the second user becomes owner of this 3D NFT. Then we're going to follow this with the transaction and conversion from US dollars to your national fiat currency, and we're going to do a transfer and conversion from US dollars to your national fiat currency, and the payment for the sale of the 3D NFT is going to be deposited in your national fiat currency in your bank account. With this said, I'm ending talking about this project, and I like to mention the next project. And the next project that we work on is about building products which are assisting owners of electric vehicles to charge their vehicles. Currently, the way of charging of electric vehicles is done through a way which resembles the way internal combustion engines they go to places called gas stations. They connect the fuel hose to the gas tank of their vehicle. They start loading fuel. They pay for the gas they loaded, and they leave. In the same way, owners of electric vehicles, they come to charging stations which have a limited number of charging columns, and the owners of electric vehicle, they connect electric cable to their electric vehicle. They start loading energy. They wait for a while. Then they pay for the energy loaded, and they leave. But with the continuous growth in numbers of electric vehicles, we estimate that ultimately the number of charging stations is going to become insufficient to handle the exponential growth of in numbers of electric vehicles, and we're proposing something which we call alternative to the gas station model. We call it the parking lot model. In this model, owners of electric vehicles which live in residential buildings, they can come in the evening from work, and they can connect charging cable to their electric vehicle from a product like the one which we're building. They can identify themselves to the charger by their debit card, credit card, or near field communication card, or a near field communication keychain ring, or they can identify themselves by near field communication ring worn on a finger. And after identifying themselves, they can start loading electric energy to their vehicle and leave their vehicle to charge during the evening, during the night, and early morning, while the user of this the owner of this electric vehicle is at home in a residential building which is having a ground floor parking lot or multiple underground floors of parking lot. But in the same way, the owners of electric vehicles, they may be working in a high-rise office building, and this high-rise office building could be outfitted in the same way with ground floor parking lot or multiple underground floors of parking lots. And the owner of this electric vehicle, when they come to work, they can connect electric cable to their electric vehicle. They can identify themselves to the charging product, and they can start loading energy while they're at work during the morning, during the afternoon, and during the early evening while they're at work. With this said, I like to tell you the name and the URL of the website of this project. It is power.arstec.com. Power is the ordinary word for power. Then there is dot, then there is a word which I can abbreviate it letter by letter. It is Alpha Romeo Sierra Tom Echo Charlie Hotel. Altogether it is Arstec, then there is dot, and it ends with com. Once again, power.arstec.com. On the top of the page you can see the kind of a charging product that we're building, and the charging product that we're building is outfitted with multiple charging cables, and the charging cables could be 2 or 4 charging cables, and these charging cables could be like the charger could be outfitted also with high current and high voltage electric switch, and this electric switch could be also mounted on on the wall, and it could serve multiple electric vehicles, like as I mentioned, 2 or 4 electric vehicles, and these electric vehicles could be outfitted with cables, or we can provide extension cables, and the charging product is outfitted also with near-field communication readers so that the user can identify themselves. Also, the charger is outfitted with a current measuring device, and this current measuring device is like can measure the exact number of energy which the charger is loaded, and finally our charging products are outfitted with Wi-Fi communication capabilities so that they can allow the user to remotely connect and turn the charging cord on and off. They can report to the user about the energy that they loaded in their products, and then they can report to the user about the amount of energy they loaded, and also they can report to the owner of, for example, residential office building, or to the electric utility, the gross, the accumulated energy, the added energy multiplied by the number of vehicles, and they can report to the electric utility this gross energy so that the electric utility knows exactly the energy which a specific building is consuming, and they could also allow the electric utility to turn on and off specific building or specific users and specific cars, so that the electric utility has a way of balancing the generated power with the consumed power. And at every moment, the electric utility has to have exactly equal generating power and consumed power, so that power generated is not more power is generated than consumed is not wasted, and on the other way, more energy consumed is not required by the utility, and the utility cannot provide this energy immediately at the moment, and have to turn on specific neighborhoods or specific cities or specific regions, so that it has time to bring additional generating capability online and meet the demand. And with this said, I'm ending talking about this project, and I like to mention the final project that we're working on. This final project is about artificial intelligence agents, and in this project we have 2 agents which are based on different artificial intelligence large language models, and these artificial intelligence entities are outfitted with their own gender, their own avatar, and their own voice with which they're speaking and vocalizing their outputs. And the feedings of the outputs of one of this, the first entity becomes input for the second entity, and the second entity responds with their output to the first entity, and so on and so forth. In this project, we have also a way of the user defining the initial interaction, and the initial interaction could be many and multiple kinds of way. For example, the interaction could be the first entity being female, and the first entity is initiated with the prompt to be very seductive. And the second entity could be a male entity, and they could be outfitted with the initial prompt to be very angry. And then you, the user, could be observer of this interaction between female entity, which is trying to seduce the male entity, and the male entity is responding angrily to this female entity. So in this project, we are defining a new kind of artificial intelligence agents, and this kind is the type of entertainment and just for fun. So the name and the URL of this project is ai2ai.decentralizedweb.org. AI to AI is typed in the way of the letter A followed by the letter I, followed by the number 2, then followed by the letter A and I. And it is typed all together AI to AI. Then there is dot, then there are two words, decentralized and web. They're typed all together. Then there is dot, and it ends with org. Once again, AI to AI dot decentralizedweb.org. On the main page of this website, you're going to see that we have social components. You, the user, who becomes you can download and start evaluating with your initial credit the AI to AI interactions. And when you define an interaction that you particularly enjoy, you can then share the parameters of this interaction back to the and post it on our website, and this interaction is going to be provided for our other users to get these parameters and enjoy this interaction themselves. The interaction is going to be similar but not identical, because large language models do not by definition repeat themselves and provide different answers when they ask the same, or then given the same requests. And with this said, I'm ending talking about this project, and I like to mention briefly the last project that we are still under development, and we do not have yet a website. And this project is about building a program which works together with a browser, and you can probably hear about ChatGPT and OpenAI, which they released a browser called Atlas. So we are in this project making something similar, and we're going to define a new category where the user can train through a web browser specific interaction, and then they can have this interaction automated by our agent and repeated by a prompt of the user. And with this said, I'm ending this educational presentation. Thank you for listening. Thank you for viewing. Have a nice day. Have a nice evening, and goodbye.